Hey folks, Randy Newberg here. We're on episode number 3 of 4, right? We're talking about how to find cow elk anytime, bulls in September, bulls in October, and bulls in November. Today we're going to cover finding bull elk on public land every day in October. Like I've said in other videos, the number one reason that we don't fill our elk tag is usually because we're not really good at consistently finding bull elk. Well, once you find them, you've solved a big part of the problem, so that's why these videos focus on that. Finding bull elk on the day that you are out there hunting. So, this is quick, this is dirty, this isn't super detailed. If you want all those details, go over to outdoorclass.com. We have the University of Elk Hunting, we have a rifle elk course, we have archery elk courses, all kinds of stuff. Use promo code RANDY and save yourself some money. Let's get started about this crazy month of October. From October 1st to October 31st, there is no month in the entire hunting calendar where the behavior of bull elk changes more than from October 1 to October 31st. They start out October 1st, still in the peak rut. And that's exactly how we explain the video about finding elk in September. Go watch the September elk video, and it'll explain to you how to find elk in the first 10-15 days of October. In the last half of October, the bulls switch over to their post-rut mode, which is the most difficult time to kill a bull elk on public land. And that's why they let everybody go rifle hunting then, because it's so hard to kill them in late October. We're going to focus on 2 factors for October. 1, breeding and chasing cows for the first part of October, and then sanctuaries and survival for the post-rut, which is the last half of October. So early October, the breeding and chasing cows is still going on. Some may not believe that, but the studies show that peak conception rates, these dates vary a little bit by altitude and latitude, usually range from September 28th to October 5th. That tells us there's a lot of rutting activity still going on in early October. So for that first 10 to 15 days of October, use the same principles we talked about in the previous video about finding bull elk in September. Now the last half of October is this huge change. This is all about sanctuary and survival, because in this last half of October, the bulls are in post-rut mode, which means they're trying to avoid lead poisoning. They don't want to get shot. They've stood around and seen that. The bulls that don't find sanctuary get taken out of the gene pool really quickly, because that's when all the rifle hunters are out there. So you're going to say, well, Randy, what's a sanctuary? I kind of joke by saying it's a place where hunters don't want to pack out an elk. And that's very true. But probably a better answer is that a sanctuary is an area of low hunting pressure surrounded by or adjacent to areas of high hunting pressure. So what creates these areas, these pockets of low hunting pressure? Distance, topography, like really steep, canyons, all that stuff. Boundaries, public-private boundaries, state boundaries, all kinds of things like that. Thick vegetation like blowdowns and all the other stuff we don't want to plow through. Those are the places where other hunters avoid. Yet, those are the places that, if they're in the right spot, can provide a small amount of feed, a little bit of water nearby, and no hunters want to go there. That's where you're going to find bulls in a sanctuary. So, in the other chapters, we talked about the daily routine of feeding, sleeping, and drinking. During October, these bulls that are in the post-rut mode, they find sanctuaries where they can do all 3 of those in close proximity. Because they know if they got to travel very far for one of those 3 things, that makes them vulnerable. That increases the risk factor. So, their sanctuaries are these places they've learned have really good bedding cover for escapement, hard for hunters to approach, has enough forage to get through this post-rut period, and has a little bit of water. So, finding bull elk in October is far easier at the beginning of the month when they're in the peak rut mode than it is at the end of the month when they're in the post-rut mode. Remember, early in the month, you got to find the cows. Find the cows, find the bulls. Later in the month, when it is post-rut, find those sanctuaries, this ugly country, these places that hunters don't want to go, and you will find the places of lower hunting pressure where the bulls go to. that is a sanctuary. That's where post-rut bulls are found in October. In the next video, we're going to talk about finding bull elk in November. Thanks for watching.